Hey everyone, if you're someone who feels like you're at a place in your life where you're looking to make decisions, maybe they might be small, maybe they might be bigger, maybe you're looking for career change or perhaps a relationship shift, and you're hoping to get guidance from the divine, maybe you've been trying to get guidance from whatever it is that you personally believe in. It might be spirit, it might be God. I personally tend to use the word the divine, but I mean anything like that, your higher self. And you don't feel like you're sort of receiving the answers. You can't be sure about what it is that you should be doing. This video today is designed hopefully to give you a bit more clarity and help you with that process. I hear it a lot, and it's something that I've experienced very much myself at different phases in my life where I felt like I needed to change something and I wasn't sure, basically. You know, you kind of reach that threshold as a human where it's like, okay, this route has these benefits, this route has these benefits, but they both also have their drawbacks, and it's like, what the hell do we do? And it's challenging. I remember my teacher once said to me, which kind of is a comforting idea, is that there are many doors in life that you can open. You know, it's not just like there's one route for you and that's it, and if you miss that, then you're totally stuffed. There are many doors. You might try one door and it might lead to a few different outcomes, and you might try another door and it might lead to a totally different outcome. But we're here to open doors. We're allowed to open doors. We've got free will, so we can use that free will, and we should use that free will. But obviously, if you're a spiritual seeker, if you're someone who's watched my channel, watched my videos before, you're probably at a point where you're feeling more spiritually connected, and you want to make decisions that are in line with you from a spiritual point of view. You don't want to create any more karma for yourself if that's something that you believe in. So how do you make decisions? Well, the foundation and the very base of all of the decisions that I tend to make, and by the way, I always will ask the divine inwardly for guidance and for assistance before I do anything, you know, that's got consequences to it if it's not the right decision. And the very foundation that I tend to use as a stepping stone to decide where to go next is my intent. That is the very basis, at least I believe it should be for everyone. The very basis of your decisions is your intent. So it might be, for example, that you think, okay, I'm not liking my job at the minute, and I feel like I want to go into some spiritual based career. But actually, when you narrow down to your intent about what it is that you really want from it, and this is just, by the way, an example, obviously, you may come to the realization that it's more about monetary gains than it is about actually serving others and sharing your talents, your gifts. And at that point, it doesn't mean that you need to then bin the idea off and say, okay, well, that's totally wrong. It just means that you're able to refine that intent and actually look at it more closely and say, okay, well, there is a part of me that actually it's got a keen eye on what I might make from this. And obviously we need to make a certain amount to live, but perhaps you're looking at it from a more self-interest point of view. What am I going to gain? Obviously the divine is selfless, so the more in line with selfless service we can be, the purer our intentions are, the better the outcome generally. So that's one thing, is just looking at your intent and saying, what is it truthfully about these various decisions that I'm going to make? What is it about them? What's the foundation of them all? Is my intent good? Is my intent pure? And don't stop at the first level of inquiry, because it's easy to just sit back and say, oh yeah, of course it is. I want to serve others. I want to help mankind come out of this Kali Yuga. You know, that's an easy answer, but really dig deep into your intent, and don't be satisfied with that. That may well be true as well, but you want to be sure that it's absolutely true. So do dig deep and get to the very bottom of it and sort of work out, okay, what is my intent with this? And if your intent has got some impurities in there, see how you can refine them. And I had an interesting thing actually with this when I started putting out videos on YouTube, and I sort of came to the idea that I wanted to start a school. I wanted to teach people all around the world. It's been a big desire of mine for maybe 5 or 6 years, and I had been teaching people all around the world in a one-to-one capacity. But I was really adamant that I didn't want it to be about money. Yes, I understood that I needed to make money if I wanted to do it full time, if I wanted it to be something where I could serve a lot of people and really make a big difference. I needed to have the time to do it full time, and therefore obviously naturally needed to make something from it. But I sat in my intent for honestly probably months and months before I actually took the step, and really delve deep into what's the true driving force here. Is it that? Is it what I've just said? Is it related to I want to serve people, I want to help people? Or is there a part of me that says, oh yeah, but if I do that, and if I do get a load of views, I could be making such and such amount of money. So I really had to dig deeply into my intent and examine it, and if needed, refine it and improve it. And what I then did is for me personally, is obviously many of you know I set up a school, and when I came to the point of deciding how much to charge on the school, again, I really didn't want it to be something that had a high price. I wanted it to be high value, affordable for anyone. And when I sat with how much I should charge, I probably spent a good month or so sitting with the idea and running different ideas through my head. And I eventually settled on $15 a month, as many of you know, which I thought was incredibly reasonable, seeing as people charge that for one yoga class, just to go to one yoga class, and you can literally join like 5 different classes a week if you wanted to, as part of my school, amongst all the other things. So it's ridiculously valuable. So I thought that seems good to me, that seems valuable. And actually, interestingly, when I received my first payment from the platform that I use called School, it came through, and the currency had been changed from dollars to British pounds, and it came through £11, 11p exactly. I received a text on my phone. I've never ever since received a text on my phone from them when I've received a payment, and it's never ever they've never it's not translated, what's the word I'm after, I can't think of the word, but they've not changed the currency, and it's never landed at £11 11p since. So I took that as a sign that price that I chose and settled on was correct. So in a similar way, what I'm sort of getting at and explaining here is that we have to make decisions and we have to take action. When we talk about surrendering to the divine and asking for guidance, it's not about just sitting down and doing nothing. I worked my ass off for like 4 years trying to make something, trying to find the right thing, trying to find what people would be interested in hearing about, trying to find the platform that people were ready to receive the sort of messages that I was sharing. It took me probably 3 or 4 years. I started around the COVID time, and it's only really been like the last year or so that it's sort of picked up. So you do have to put in the work, and I think it's very easy in the spiritual space to just assume that, oh, we just sit back and just ask the divine to do it, or ask spirit to guide me, and I'm just gonna wait, I'm gonna do nothing. And excuse me, yeah, there are times when we should wait and we should do nothing, but there are other times when we need to just try, and the divine will be working through us in that trying. That's the difference. So it's not that we expect the answers immediately. People will often say, well, I asked the divine and I didn't get the answer. Well, you might not. It might take you 3 years, 4 years to get the answer, but the divine will take you to places where you need to learn a certain thing. You know, you'll try something, and for me personally, every avenue that I explored, I learned invaluable lessons, absolutely crucial lessons that without having learned them, I probably wouldn't have been able to teach and to do the things that I'm doing now the way that I'm doing it, even if they're like, you know, practical things like sort of techie knowledge and how to use cameras and software and all this sort of stuff. So when you ask, it's not that you will receive the answer immediately, but you will be taken to places and you will learn lessons that you need to learn. And it might be that you learn them in a quicker way or a smoother way or a more well-rounded way. But inwardly asking for guidance is what I would suggest to you. And with regards to taking action, you know, there's nothing wrong with using your reasoning, your practical mind. We've got a mind for a reason. We've got this ability to hold up to potential options and, you know, work out what seems logically the best thing to do. And sometimes it's not easy, but sometimes we do just need to open a door, as I said before, and opportunities will come. and whether we think it's the right door or not, opportunities will come. But I would suggest to anyone who's at a crossroads, you're at a place where you're not really sure, get yourself in a quiet room. Just doesn't need to be anywhere particular, a bedroom. If you can find somewhere beautiful like this, then even better. Sit down, find the silence within yourself. Everything comes out of silence. So the answers that you want are within silence. And ask whoever or whatever it is that you believe in to show you the way to go. Not for what you want, but what is right for you. What is the best route for me, for the best outcome for me? What is absolutely correct for me? And I know that the route that you may take me down may not be what I want right now, but if you're guiding me, I know it's what I need right now. That's hard to do. That's called surrender. That's where you say, I know I'm limited, and I know that what I'm communicating is unlimited and knows what's right for me. So I'm going to humbly allow that to steer me. But if you're not saying it in a way like that, you're sort of saying, right, God, this is where I want to go. I need you to take me there. So can you see how, I'm sure the divine would do that if you asked enough, and maybe if circumstances are right, or it's correct for you for whatever reason. But I personally think it's a wiser way of living in the world and working through the world if you say, God, divine, I want to go here. I feel like inwardly that's what's right for me. If it's right, please can you take me there, and please can you teach me what I need to learn on the way. And you might find that you don't get there, and perhaps that is right for you. For me personally, I just had this gut feeling, very deep, and it was more than a feeling, it was an absolute knowing, I would say. I would say I was that certain that I needed to teach more people. I just had this, and I know nowadays it feels like everyone says that, so it doesn't feel like something different or unique. But I just had this deep inner knowing and calling that I needed to share what I had been very blessed to learn, which obviously many of you know from my upbringing, getting into meditation from 6 years old, and all of the experience and I suppose lessons that have come with that have meant that I've got a lot to share, and I really, really wanted to be able to share that, because everywhere I seem to look, friends, family, not everyone, but people who were close by me struggling with different things, and I thought, I know a path or some exercises or some ways of thinking or some ways of living that would probably help you. And it doesn't mean you have to do it, but if you want to, I'm putting it out there. It's on YouTube now, so hopefully many people around the world also have access to all of this knowledge and what I've come to learn over years. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, otherwise I'm just going to keep rambling, but I hope the video has been helpful. If you do feel like you want to join my online school and be part of a meditation and spiritual community where we've got over 400 students from all around the world now, it's absolutely incredible. I'll leave a link down in the description below, but failing that, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks a lot.